Welcome back, everyone. This is Rich from Rerun Zone. And today I want to talk about a Twilight Zone episode that I like to watch every year during the Christmas season. It's an episode called The Night of the Meek, and it's a heartwarming tale that's both sentimental and humorous. It's about a man down on his luck who, through the magic of the Twilight Zone, becomes the very thing that he's wished for. It's an emotional ride and takes us from the bottom of a bottle to the top of the world. So ride along with me, if you will, as I tell you the tale of The Night of the Meek. And if you haven't already, make this an annual tradition in your house too. Spoilers are ahead. This episode was first broadcast on December 23rd, 1960. It's only one of 6 episodes that were shot on videotape for the Twilight Zone to try and save money. In my opinion, the technique actually adds to the surrealistic feel of this episode. The Night of the Meek features the legendary Art Carney. Carney, who portrayed Ed Norton on the classic Honeymooners series, now plays the part of Henry Corwin, a man who is down and out. The part of Corwin was written by Serling specifically for Carney. Rod had worked with him previously on Playhouse 90 and really wanted to see Carney as Santa Claus. The story opens in a busy department store on a snowy Christmas Eve. Santa's due in at 6 o'clock, but Corwin, who plays the part of Santa every year, is busy downing shots in a local bar. It might be Christmas Eve, but for Corwin, it's just another night to drown his sorrows. The bartender looks at the clock and tells Corwin that it's 6:30. He's late for his job, the one thing that gives his life some purpose. He's looking for his last crumpled dollar bill when he sees 2 children with their faces pressed against the window, their eyes filled with excitement. They think they found Santa Claus. Corwin waves at them and turns to down another shot. He looks at the bartender and asks him, "Why isn't there a real Santa Claus? For kids like that." Outside, the kids ask him with hope in their eyes for Christmas presents.
"Oh, please, Santa Claus, a job for my daddy."
The heartfelt requests are too much for Corwin, and he bursts into tears. Meanwhile, back at the department store, children and their parents are waiting for Santa. Corwin staggers in, but in his drunken state, he falls to the floor. Mr. Dundee, the store's manager, fires him immediately. Corwin apologizes for his drinking, but tells Dundee that the sight of the poverty surrounding him is just too much for him to bear.
"That's why I drink, Mr. Dundee. And that's why I weep."
He walks out of the store, a broken man. Corwin wanders aimlessly. In a Twilight Zone twist of fate, he finds a large bag filled with presents. With a newfound joy, he puts the bag over his shoulder and yells out, "Merry Christmas, everybody!" He shows up at the local homeless shelter with the mysterious bag of gifts, claiming it will grant any wish. To prove it, he asks an old man named Bert for his wish. "A new pipe," Bert says, and like magic, Corwin pulls out a brand new pipe from the bag. Sister Florence, who's in charge of the shelter, demands to know where he got this miraculous bag. Corwin admits that he has no idea where it came from, but before he can offer her a gift from the bag, she storms out and comes back with Officer Flaherty. Flaherty has no choice but to take Corwin into custody since he doesn't have a receipt or an explanation for the bag of gifts. At the precinct, Corwin's confronted by Dundee, who accuses him of stealing the gifts. But as they inspect the bag, instead of store merchandise, they find only empty cans and an alley cat. Dundee, who still doesn't believe, mockingly asks for a bottle of vintage cherry brandy from 1903. To his surprise, Corwin pulls out the bottle from his bag and leaves Dundee speechless as he leaves the station. As midnight approaches, Corwin stands on a street corner handing out gifts to the poor children in his neighborhood. His bag finally empty, he runs into Bert from the shelter, who says that Corwin has given so much, yet taken nothing for himself. Corwin's reply is simple yet profound.
I guess what I really wanted is to be the biggest gift giver of all time.
As he walks away, he encounters a sleigh led by 8 reindeer with an elf waiting for him. Without hesitation, Corwin takes his place in the sleigh and embarks on a journey into the night sky. Meanwhile, a confused Flaherty and Dundee come out of the precinct, and the distant sound of sleigh bells catches their attention. They look up to see Corwin, now a true Santa Claus, soaring through the night sky. They know this Christmas Eve will be one they'll never forget, a night when the impossible became possible, when a downtrodden man like Henry Corwin became a symbol of hope, and when the spirit of Christmas touched even the most jaded of hearts. It's a story that still resonates today as the story of Henry Corwin, a simple man who became the accidental Santa Claus, brought joy to the meek and wonder to the weary, and became a part of the magic and mystery that is Christmas in the Twilight Zone. This is Rich from Rerun Zone. Thanks for watching, and I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas.